Festus Keyamo don enter big wahala, my people. Since when he be say he come out, come rant in mad for live video, say make them arrest presidential candidate Peter Obi. My people, no be small matter they happen concerning that word when he be say he come out, he say he order DSS make they go arrest Peter Obi because of waiting now. No be then say make Labour Party go court. Matter don still dey court now, they no want still rest. They see they drag the man up and down. Without wasting much of your time, make we watch this video. Hello my people, how una dey? Thank you all for tuning in into this our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on the location where you dey watch me for. From this our channel, now here we dey bring news, we dey react to videos, celebrities matter when they happen for inside Obodo Naija, and we dey bring out the con dey give una as e dey hot. So my people, I get interesting video when I want make we all watch. My people, but before we go watch just video, I beg if you dey meet us for the first time, make you not forget to subscribe, like, and help us to share the video so that make other people they see waiting they happen. So my people, make you watch this video to the end, and at the end of the video, make you leave your own thought what you think concerning this video, and me myself I will still honor at the end of this video to give my own personal thoughts concerning the video. So let's watch this video together.
Arise News had also extended invitation to the All Progressives Congress through Festus Keyamo and, of course, one of the party's members in the media directorate of the APC campaign, Ni Akinshiju, who all promised that they will be made available, especially Ni Akinshiju, that he'll be made available right here. And Keyamo declined to be on the program, but we'll just have to go ahead with one of the parties that we have here. So good to have you, Kenneth Okonkwo, join us on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you viewers at home for tuning in. Yes,
the APC says you're overheating the polity, and that some of your supporters have been calling for an interim government, while your vice presidential candidate, Dati Baba Ahmed, is asking the CJN not to swear in President-elect Bola Ahmed Tiunbu. And the controversy continues despite your filing a case at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, and the government party saying that if you're in court, why are you making, quote, incendiary statements here and there? How would you react to the APC?
Good. First of all, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu promised Nigerians that he is going to organize the presidential election and the gubernatorial and the legislative elections, and that the results will be uploaded in real time from the polling unit via the beavers. He did not do it, and he has acknowledged he did not. According to him, there were flaws. Now, the APC, before the election, warned all the non-APC members who were not going to vote for APC not to come out to vote. It is open. They warned the non-indigens. As a matter of fact, they even invoked Oro Festival to make sure they frustrated everybody. It's on record. And then they were not heating up the polity. And after the election, and after the open robbery that took place, a man rose up. His name is Peter Obi, and said, let there be calm. I am going to take my grievances through the courts. It's on record. And then suddenly, some spin doctors are now saying he is the one who is overheating the polity. Is there no level to lies and hypocrisy? And they were the people that told him, if you don't like what is happening, go to court. And he went to court. And yet, he's the one overheating the polity. I want to tell you, the people that are overheating the polity, they are Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. They are APC, because right there in front of Nigerians, the APC presidential candidate made a reasonable statement. He said power is not served a la carte like breakfast. You have to fight for it at all costs. You have to grab it at all costs. You have to snatch it at all costs, and you have to run away with it at all costs. That is the treasonable felony. That is overheating the system. How many of them had petitioned the DSS to take him on that? And you know what? on the election day, they actually executed that his order to the latter. Women were brutalized. Non-indigents were brutalized. The security agencies were there.
That was during the governorship election. Now,
And the presidential.
Now, in the presidential election, Dati Baba Ahmed is saying that it will be the end of democracy if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sworn in as president on May 29. And the APC is crying foul. I mean, Keyamo had issued statements, including today, saying that, look, going ahead to make these statements are terrible. And what other plans does LP have? And they are saying that if you came third, why are you so sure that some of your prayers will be answered? He has written to the DSS. Yet we've also had what looks like incendiary comments coming from Femi Fani-Kayode and even Keyamo himself. How do you react to all of this, which a lot of Nigerians who voted for you, voted for Labour Party, PDP and APC are perplexed all about, that the politics just seems overheated?
First of all, I'm surprised that you're still taking those army of people seriously. Just go out and read their tweets. If you don't like what they are saying, just keep quiet. They will soon change.
How do you mean?
Oh, just go to the contradictory statements they make, even about themselves. I know of one of them that is telling you that if your father is Yoruba and your mother is Igbo, you are Igbo. And that person never raised any male child except through an Igbo woman. How do you listen to such people? Let me tell you, because I want to dive into what Baba Ahmed said. We are in court, and paragraph 20 of our petition says Bola Tinubu was at the time of election not qualified to be president. And the next one is that his election was invalid by reason of corrupt practices and non-compliance with Electoral Act 2022. And the last one was that he was not validly elected by the majority of the lawful votes cast at the election. Now, a man who has this position and is in court, what do you want him to say? Can he approbate and reprobate? He's simply telling you that in his own opinion, which he's entitled to by section 38, section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution, which gave him freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of belief to express his thought the way he wants. And he was in the studio saying it, not in the forest with guns. He was not a rebel. He was simply expressing his thoughts. He has not told anybody to carry gun. He said, in my opinion, if you are not supposed to swear this person in, and that is why we're in court. So
why don't you allow the court process to be concluded before making some of these statements? Because that's what the other party is saying, that you can't be in the court and be on the streets at the same time.
Then why did you invite him to tell him what is he going to court for? You are the one who invited him. You asked the question and he gave you the answer. So what do we say?
All right, I will ask you to just hold on, because I've been told that Ni Akinshiju of the APC is here with us, and so we'll go on the short break, and when we come back, we'll have both gentlemen stay with us. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching This Week on the Rise News, and of course, we're still talking about some of the top issues between the governing All Progressives Congress and the Labour Party. And of course, joining us now is a member of the APC Presidential Campaign Media Directorate, Ni Akinshiju, and of course, I still have with me here Kenneth Okonkwo, who is a lawyer, politician, and spokesman of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council too. Thank you so much, Ni, for joining us. Now, let's talk about this statement that you've been issuing, including the petition by Festus Keyamo, that the Labour Party is in court, and that some of the comments coming from some of its leaders, including the vice presidential candidate, is incendiary. And as a result of that, you think that the politics is being overheated, and that the calls for an interim government for Tinubu not to be sworn in are not supposed to be discussions at this moment.
If we start from that interim government thing, actually that's irresponsible as far as we are concerned. But going forward, other forms of interventions that are being made at the level of our directorate is just to call for moderation. Moderation and the fact that we have gone into an election. The election result had been made public. Our candidates, who is the president-elect, had even made overtures to the opposition, those who had lost, that is willing to do a government of inclusivity. And of course,
a government of national competence.
Yes, that is include. It was initially that it was ready to do business with everybody. Then 2 or 3 days after he made that public announcement, opposition losers headed to the court, and after a while, he had to come out with a principled position to say, no, this is what, it is not as if he was pandering as a result of a blackmail. This is what he desires going forward, And since then, we've been hearing, you've gone to court, you use press statements, you grant interviews, and you keep virtually blackmailing anybody that was not with you. I thought that is not appropriate.
But they said that they were taking the cue from what happened during the governorship election, especially in Lagos. The accusation is that Tiunbu was quiet when all sorts of violence were happening and all of that, only for him to call for people to remain calm after the elections had happened.
What sort of violence did we record in Anambra during the presidential election? What manners of suppression of voters did we record in Enugu during the presidential election? And even during the gubernatorial election? This thing is not about seeking fault. For us, we've been in government, and we have seen how government runs. And the important thing for us is to have a peaceful atmosphere. And we believe in the judiciary. People said they were going to seek justice in the court. Please, go seek justice in the court. And I am even saying that INEC had done innovation, had introduced innovation, upscaled their technology, that had even made seeking justice at the level of the courts and tribunal much easier, through the beavers and the IRF. So when you have all these things in place, it's not like before. If you were in Nigeria, 1999, 2003, 2007, 2011, when you could get ballot papers, thumbprint them, stuff them into a ballot box, and they'll be counted without anybody being accountable for it.
Right.
Now, the case is different now. So when it is different, why don't we allow for the judicial process to end, to be concluded, and then we know who exactly is at fault here.
Okay, so is there no room for reconciliation among all political leaders to allow the judicial process to prevail? What do you make, Kenneth Okonkwo, about these allegations of incitement by Festus Keyamo? Because I'm seeing a statement written by them. He says, on many occasions after the declaration of Tiunbu as the winner of the election, his public speeches and utterances have centered on reconciliation, forgiveness, and a greater vision of Nigeria. Do you believe that statement?
The statement is flat lie. And I'm sorry to say, just like me, he has just made his well-known bombastic lies. He said Enugu, he said Anambra. He didn't mention one example. MC Oluomo told anybody who does not want to vote for APC not to come near the polling unit. And he fulfilled the threat. In Lagos, a lady was blinded and she still went back to vote.
She's not fully blinded.
Fully. And still went back to vote. Lagos. And village we are told not to come out in Lagos openly. It is there. Let him cite one. I'm from Enugu. I voted in Enugu. Let him cite one or two specific incidents. Time has gone for all those throwing up statistics that are non-existent. And now, I told you, after the election, you know what Bola Tinubu said? The Igbos came to Lagos when they were 12 years. And now they are not voting for us. This is supposed to be conciliatory. I said if there is anybody that should be taken to the DSS, the person is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I told you before he came that he came out openly to tell his followers, power is not served a la carte. Then what is democracy? If power is not served a la carte, the whole idea of democracy is peaceful transition of power from one person to the other. And you're telling your people, fight for it at all costs, grab it at all costs, snatch it at all costs.
But that statement was made as early as last year.
No,
before the presidential election, during the Chatham House. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu made that statement, a lot of people expected that the security services will also caution him on that statement. But that didn't happen. So why did you rush to the DSS without quoting Tinubu's statement?
It is more than 20 years old. That power is not served a la carte is the motivational speech. The content of the motivational speech that Bola Tinubu usually presents to his followers. And is that becoming an issue in 2023,
by opposition that have lost power for election.
He is saying that you have lost election.
He's talking about somebody lying in Enugu. While he talked about one woman that was hit in Lagos. Yes. Okay, all right. But we also know a particular man was pursued out of the polling units
for wanting to vote.
Yes. I do not know it's there in the social media.
All right. Let's come back to you and the Labour Party. Now, your vice presidential candidate is saying that Tiunbu should not be sworn in on May 29, or it will be the end of democracy. If he's not sworn in, there's no vacuum in power. What will happen, after May 29?
Good. Thank you very much. And let me tell you who lost. Because P2B did not only win, he humiliated them.
Well, according to our next figures, he came
first. He was the only person that made 25% in the whole 6 geopolitical zones, including the FCT. He won him in his principal's home state, won him in the national chairman of APC state, he won him in the DG of APC state, he won him everywhere. And what? Even in FCT. His
which is a controversial
make 25%. So what I'm telling you is that he not only won them, he humiliated them.
But according to INEC figures, he came third. Now, you're saying that
according to INEC figures.
Yes. Now, what I'm interested in is finding out what should happen after on May 29. Not even after May 29.
Let us go to what Baba Ahmed said. Let us say what Baba Ahmed said. Some people. Baba Ahmed
Let's hear from him quickly to try to round off the conversation.
Like I told you, the paragraph 20 of our petition. Good. We are in court. Baba Ahmed was called. Why are you in court? He said we have a petition, and this is our grounds. If you don't believe in your ground, why are you going to court? If I believe
that same interview, he said he didn't believe in the judicial process. Now, what will happen after May 29?
No, he did not say so. I have my doubts about the judicial process. That was what he was saying. No, he said it that if the Supreme Court gives judgment, he will accept. But that does not mean.
But he also said that this same Supreme Court made somebody who came forth as the governor of Imo State, and as such, the Supreme Court seems to be losing grasp of the people's will.
Are you aware of the Zamfara judgment that declared the whole APC votes wasted votes and made people to come first overnight? That's what we're saying. That the votes that his principal had are wasted votes. Because at the time of election, he was not qualified. And let me break it down.
The court
Let me break it down
very quickly as we go on of this.
He was not qualified because he chose to nominate a vice presidential candidate who, at the time he nominated him as vice presidential candidate, was having the nomination of Boronu, not senatorial.
The PDP went to court of that, and just on Friday, that case was dismissed.
Would allow me to finish. Which Friday? We're talking about double nomination, and they couldn't have gone to that case because we're talking about tribunal. And let me tell you, Section 35 of the Electoral Act is very clear. A double nomination makes the nomination void, and that means the candidacy of his principal is void. Again, the candidate did not win 25% in the FCT. And he said you cannot declare him if he did not win. And then again, in the process of election, as brief as I can be,
very quickly, so that he will respond.
Having wasted votes, we are no longer third. We are first. We won in Rivers, we won in Taraba, we won in by our own petition, which we believe in.
Okay, so now